Good morning to all my dear students. Today the topic of my presentation is PN junction diode. We'll be discussing about the PN junction diode, its characteristics, its features, its operation, its construction, as well as we'll be discussing about the biasing and VI characteristics of the PN junction diode. Okay, now first of all, before starting with my topic of PN junction diode, I would just like to introduce you about the full forms or the meaning of this P and N. What does this P and N stand for in case of a PN junction diode? In case of a PN junction diode, this P stands for P-type materials and N stands for N-type materials. Now, P-type are also the positive or the acceptor ions and N-type are the negative or the donor ions. Okay. Now, P-type are normally trivalent impurities like we have aluminium, boron, indium, gallium. All these are the trivalent impurities to which they are accepting the electrons to complete their shells. They accept the electrons from the pentavalent impurities to add on to their complete shell or formation of their structure. And similarly, we have the N-type materials, which are basically made of N-type metals or the negative kind of, they have the polarity of negative. P have the positive polarity and has a negative polarity. Okay, and N-type materials are generally silicon germanium. These are the donor ions. These are donor ions because they have extra valence electrons in their outer shell, which can be donated to the trivalent impurities to have the conduction in a better way. So similarly, in this way, we have the P-type and N-type materials. P-type are the trivalent impurities. Trivalent impurities are added to the P-type materials and pentavalent impurities are added to the N-type materials. Okay, and in combination of this P-type and N-type, they form a kind of a diode which helps in the conduction of current. Now, PN junction diode is a diode which is formed of these two basically diodes or ions which helps the conduction of the current. So let's start with this introduction first. What do you mean by the PN junction diodes? A P-type and N-type semiconductor taken separately are of very limited use. When we talk about this, independent usage of this P-type and N-type materials, they are very limited in usage. We can't use them in a very widely applications, but they are only applicable and useful only at the smaller edge. Okay, they're not very widely used in all the applications. P-type and N-type semiconductors are taken separately for limited use. They have very limited applications where they can be separately used as a materials as a P-type in a separate way and N-type as a separate way. But in combination, when we make them in a combination, P-type and N-type, they form the PN diode. And that PN diode has several applications where it can be used easily. Okay, now if we join a piece of P-type material to a piece of N-type material such that the crystal structure remains continuous at the boundary. When we try to join the materials, which materials? A P-type material and the N-type material, so that they form the crystal structure. Because when they are joined together, the P-type and N-type make a kind of a crystal structure which remains constant. The properties of that P-type and N-type material crystal will remain continuous and constant throughout its formation. And hence, when this combination is made, a combination of P-type material and N-type material is made, that combination actually exists for this existence of this PN junction diode. So what is a PN junction diode? Basically, it can function as a rectifier, it can function as an amplifier, it can function as a switching and other operations in electronic circuits. It can form various other operations in the electronic circuits. The PN junction diode can be produced by simply pushing two pieces together or by welding, etc., because it gives rise to discontinuities across the crystal structure. Now, how this PN junction diode is basically formed? How the physical structure of this PN junction diode is formed? That physical structure of this PN junction diode is actually formed by simply pushing the two pieces of this P-type and N-type material together. By simply pushing or simply attaching this two materials of P-type and N-type materials together, or by welding them, that can be other solution for making for the formation of this PN junction diode, because we don't prefer to have the welding. We just try to push them and we try to combine them together, because sometimes for some other methods like welding and other things, they can be form some discontinuities in between. They can create a kind of discontinuities in the crystal structure of this PN junction diode, which is not at all acceptable. So it is always desirable. So it is always desirable to have a kind of a combination which have least amount of discontinuities between the crystal structure, and it can be gone through, or it can be formed through a very smooth manner. Now we use special fabrication techniques to form the PN junction diode. They are not simple techniques. We adopt certain special fabrication techniques by which we can easily, fabricate this PN junction diode. So this is electronic symbol. This is this electronic symbol for this PN junction diode. This is your positive side. This is your negative side of this PN junction diode. This is a symbolic representation of the PN junction diode. Then this is a crystal structure of this P-type and N-type material of this, PN junction diode. The depletion layer is formed between the P-type and N-type layer, and we have the insulation. This P-type, this depletion layer is actually acting as a insulated layer, or the forbidden layer, which doesn't help in conduction. As the size of this layer increases, the amount of PN junction conduction will go on decreasing. Okay. So this is now your diagrammatic representation of the PN junction diode. Now, how this is actually acting, how this PN junction diode is actually conducting, what is the formation and structure and the construction of this PN junction diode, that has been discussed over here. That can be seen very easily over here in this very recording part of your, or this very structure of this. Okay, now we can see it very well that when we have, this is your P side of the PN junction diode, this is your N side of the PN junction diode. Okay, this is your P side, this is your N side. P side means it is composed of the P type materials, and that is composed of the N type materials. Okay, and when we talk about the P type materials, they have the negative acceptor ions, and they have the holes in predominance. The actual existence is of holes over here, and they have acceptor ions which can accept the ions from its neighboring structure. Okay. Similarly, in the N side, we have the positive donor ions, because they have the pentavalent impurity added to them on the N side. That means they have the donor ions. They have excess of electrons in the valence shell, which they can donate to anyone who is able to accept it. So they have the donor ions in existence in case of an N-type ions, and they have the positive P-type material have the acceptor ions for which they can accept the ions. Okay, now when we apply this biasing condition to this, what happens is, when we apply this biasing condition, we are applying the positive bias to this diode, and we are providing the negative to the what? Negative to the this N side. We are providing the positive bias to the P side, and we're providing the negative bias to the N side. Now, what will happen when we provide this kind of biasing? Is it a forward bias or reverse? It's the forward biasing of the diode. When the P side of the battery is connected with the P-type material of the PN junction diode, then that is your forward bias, and the N side is connected to the N-type material of the PN junction diode, then that is your forward bias. And reverse bias is when you're connecting the P side of the battery to the N-type material. Okay, and N side of the battery or the P side of battery to the N side, and N-type material to the positive side of the battery. Then that is the reverse bias. It is the opposite polarities. Positive is not connected to positive and negative is not connected to negative. That means they are in the opposite polarity. In that case, we are having the difference in polarities, and that is known as your reverse biasing. In that case, this termed as your reverse biasing. Okay, now let's start when the forward bias is provided. Forward bias means the P side is connected to the P-type material. When the forward bias is applied, what happens is the acceptor ions will accept the ions from the N side of the material. That is, from the N side material, they will be moved towards the P side and will be accepted by these. यहाँ से we can see it over here that the acceptor ions are moving from this P side towards the N side, and the donor ions are also moving from the N side towards the P side, and they accumulate near this forbidden gap. This depletion layer or this forbidden gap is accumulated over here. And as soon as we provide the forward bias to this diode, what will happen? This recombination will start. Recombination of what? This positive and negative ions will start with each other, and this forbidden gap will go on diminishing. They will go on decreasing. It will go on decreasing. It will go on decreasing, and it will lead to the kind of a forward bias conditions. And when we provide when this depletion layer is decreasing, the amount of conduction of this positive and negative ions will go on increasing. That will go on increasing and will provide to the positivity of this, or the conduction of this diode will actually happen when we conduct in such a way. Okay, and similarly for the reverse bias, when we talk about the reverse bias, what is going to happen is, for reverse bias, what is going to happen? For reverse bias, we are having the increase in depletion level of the diode. The depletion level has been increased in case of your reverse bias, and it can be enhanced. So when the positive bias or the forward bias is being provided to this diode, what actually happens is there is a combination of this donor and acceptor ions, and it helps in the conduction of the current. It actually happens for the free flow of the current. Okay, so when we apply the reverse bias condition, then what will happen? This forbidden gap will go on increasing. This will be going on widened up. The forbidden gap will be widening up again and again, and with this widening of this forbidden gap, what will happen is the conduction will go on decreasing. The size of this P-type and N-type material will go on decreasing, and this forbidden gap will go on increasing, and the conduction level will go on decreasing. The conduction will go on decreasing with the reverse bias. So it is always advisable to provide the forward bias to the PN junction diode instead of the reverse bias. We always provide the forward bias so that we can have a smooth conduction of current in the forward bias diode. Okay, so we have these negative acceptor ions which are responsible for the acceptance of the free electrons. Similarly, here we have the free donor, positive donor ions which are able to conduct, or which we are able to donate themselves to the acceptor ions to form the complete structure of the PN junction diode. Okay, this is the complete structural analysis of the PN junction diode and how it actually works. That is the main structural analysis of this PN junction. Okay, the PN junction diode has N is at the right side, N side is always at the right side of the PN junction diode, and P is always at the left side of this diode. The majority carriers of the N side region or the N region is electrons, and for the P region we have the holes. Majority carriers means a concentration of the charge carriers which is higher in case of N region and P region. The majority of charge carriers in case of your N region have electrons. Electrons are in majority in case of your N region, and holes are in majority in case of your P region. So this is the majority carriers which are actually existing in your N region and your P region. They're actually existing in your N and P region of this PN junction diode. Now this formation of a depletion layer. How the formation of this depletion layer actually occurs is there are no external connections for the case of a depletion layer. There is no external connections. When there is no external connections, the depletion layer remains constant. The excess electrons in the N region across the junction and combine with excess holes in the P region. Now, this is what was happening that we have seen in the video of this PN junction diode, that how the concentration of the donor ions, the donor excess ions, which are moving from the N side region towards the acceptor ions of the P side region in order to form the complete structure analysis of this PN junction diode. Now this N region loses its electrons because positively charged. Now this N region loses its electrons. Why this N region loses its electrons? Because they have excess of electrons in the outer shell and they become the positively charged because they are continuously giving or donating their electrons towards the acceptor or the P side region. So they are positively charged, and the P region accept the electrons, they become the negatively charged. At one point, the migratory action is stopped. And when the complete charge is balanced, when the balancing of this charge occurs, that is a number of electrons present in both of the charge particles present on both of this P side and N side remains same. The concentration of charge carriers on both the P side and N side becomes same. Then this flow of this charge carriers stop, and hence what we get is we get as the constant, and there is no migration of the particles from one side to other side. So that point, when this point is reached, the migration stops and there is a formation of there is no transference of the charge particles. Now this formation of depletion layer, how this formation of depletion layer actually occurs? And additional electrons from the N region are repelled by the net negative charge of the N region. Now, when the concentration, when we provide the forward bias condition, what happens in case of forward bias conditions? We are providing the N type, or we provide the N supply or the negative supply to the N type material of the P injection diode, and we are providing the positive supply to the P type material of the P injection diode. Now, what happens there is the additional electrons, when these additional electrons which are being supplied from this negative terminal of the battery, they are repelled by the net negative charge of the P region. When they are repelled by this negative charge of the P region, and similarly, the additional holes from the P region are repelled by the positive charge of the N region. So they are being repelled from each other, and hence that result is what? A creation of a thin layer of each side of the junction, which is depleted, emptied of a mild charge carrier. This is known as a depletion layer. Because of the strong repulsive forces which are actually occurring, because strong repulsive forces which are actually occurring on the P side and the N side when the terminal of battery is being connected to them, or when they have excess of electrons and holes in them, they create a kind of a region which has no mobile charge carriers actually present in that region. Now that region is known as your depletion region, because when we talk about the N region have a negative charge, and that negative charge creates a strong repulsive forces for the negative charge particles present inside that region. So that create a strong repulsive force, and some of them try to accumulate themselves inside a region, और उसकी वजह से हमारे पास एक छोटा सा region create होता है. We try to create a small kind of region which is a very thin kind of a region, very thin layer of that region is formed, and that thin layer is always emptied or depleted from the mobile charge carriers, and that is known as your depletion layer. The thickness of this depletion layer is of the order of 10 raised to the minus 6 meters. The thickness of the order of this kind of material is of order of 10 raised to a minus 6 meters. It is very, very thin and very small region basically, but actually this region comes into existence because of the strong repulsive forces which are actually occurring in the p side and the n side materials because of that strong extra charge particles which are inculcated into that regions, because this is a kind of impure regions. The p type and n type are the impure regions, they are not the pure kind of regions, and those impure regions are actually responsible for this kind of impurities which are occurring in this region. Then we have the formation of depletion layer. The depletion layer contains no free and mobile charge carriers, but only the fixed and immobile ions. So this depletion layer, which is formed, is not having any kind of free electrons which will be conducting the amount of current through them. Or the mobile charge carriers are not present inside of this depletion layer, but rather they have the fixed and the immobile ions. They have a fixed and immobile ions which are not participating in the formation of this depletion layer. Its width depend upon the doping level. Now, what factors does the width of this depletion layer depends? It depends upon the doping level of the material. What kind of doping we are providing to them? Is it positive doping, pentavalent impurity added, or trivalent impurities added? So that is actually the kind of impurity. It depends upon the impurities which we are adding to them. So when the impurities are very high, when the impurities heavy doping is there, when addition of doping means addition of impurities. When the addition of impurities is very high, in case of your PN junction diode, then the formation of depletion layer is very small. Why it is small in that case? It is smaller because when the impurities are high, that means we are adding the conductivity level to the PN junction diode. The conductivity ratio or the conductivity level of the PN junction diode is enhanced to a very strong level, to a very high level. Now, when the conductivity is increasing, that means this forbidden gap or this depletion layer is very small and very thin, which is not able to hinder the amount or obstruct the amount of current passing through them. So in that case, we have a very thin or the thin depletion layer. And in case of lightly doped, when we talk about a lightly doped depletion layers, lightly doped depletion layers mean we have a thick depletion layer. Thick means we have a very strong depletion layer which is thick in nature, and it will obstruct or hinder the amount of current which is passing through them. It will obviously hinder the amount of current passing through them. It will obstruct the amount of current passing through them. It will not allow the free passage of electrons from one region to the other region, or the free conduction of current from this PN junction diode. So this is actually depending upon the amount of doping which you are providing to them. Heavily doped means high conductivity, lightly doped means low conductivity. Low conductivity means we have a thick depletion layer, and high conductivity means we have a thin depletion layer. Okay. Now this is actually the schematic diagram of this p-type region and n-type region. P-type is always on the left side and n-type is always the right side. P-type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, n-type is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. This is your forward bias conditions. Now biasing in PN junction diodes, biasing there are two basically there biasing is basically two types. One is your forward bias, one is your reverse bias. Forward bias means when the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the P region and negative terminal connected to the N region. Similarly, for your reverse bias, the negative terminal of the battery is connected to the N region, P region, and your positive terminal of the battery is connected to the N region. That means when they're reverse mode, when they're operating in the reverse mode, that is known as your reverse bias junction and the forward bias junctions. So this is a schematic diagram representation of a p-type and n-type materials. P-type is connected to the positive and n-type is connected to the n-type region of the PN junction diode. Then we discuss the forward and reverse bias. The positive terminal is connected to a p-side region and negative is into the negative region of the battery. Similarly, negative terminal is into the P side region and positive terminal is into the negative region of the battery. Then we talk about the VI characteristics of the PN junction diode. What is this VI characteristics of PN junction diode? What do you mean by V and I? V is a voltage, I is a current. When we talk about the voltage and current characteristics of the PN junction diode, then it becomes your PN junction diode. Okay, so we have the P and I characteristics which are discussed over here. We are having the voltage and current. Okay, voltage and current. What is the relation between the voltage and current, and how can we graphically see the results of the voltage and current in case of your PN junction diode? That is to be seen in case of your PN junction diode. Okay, that is to be seen in your PN junction diode. Now what is actually happened? We are taking the voltage along the this x-axis, and we are taking this current along the y-axis. Current is along the y-axis. So that is what is going there happening, that we have the voltage along the x-axis and current along the y-axis. They describe the DC behavior. We're talking about a DC behavior diode, that how under DC behavior analysis, how this diode is actually conducting, how it's propagating in case of a DC behavior diode. So this is the VA characteristics of the diode, which is seen over here. We are this is on the x-axis. We have this on this axis. We have the what we are having. What we are having this voltage. That means we are having the voltage along this axis, and we are having the current along the. We are having the voltage along this axis, and we are having the current along the y-axis. That shows this thing. So what is happening is, as we are increasing the voltage, you can see the content of voltage is increasing. From this point, it is increasing. As it is increasing, the amount of current is also enhancing. The amount of current is also enhancing. When we talk about this current, or when we talk about this voltage or current over here, when we talk about this is your current analysis. This is the current analysis which is seen on the with respect to the voltage. This is with respect to the voltage which we are trying to do. So this is what is going to happen in case of your voltage and current analysis of this. Okay. This is increasing. This green ticks are actually showing the region where it is increasing. It has started to increase. The current has started to increase with the increase of voltage from this point. This point is being enhanced from this point, and it is reaching the maximum level of the current with the increase of the voltage inside. So that is what is going to happen in this case. Similarly, if you see the negative side of this axis, we are seeing that with the increase of this voltage, there is increase in the amount of current on the negative edge also. So V is directly proportional to I in case of your VI characteristics of the voltage current analysis of the PN junction diode. Is it clear to everyone? Is it? So let's have this analysis is given a pictorial and a graphical representation, which is very much in consideration when we talk about the PN junction diode. This is actual consideration when we talk about the PN junction diode. Okay. So VI characteristics, what does this suggest to us? The PN junction diodes act as a rectifier as seen in the IV characteristic, it is actually acting as a rectifier over here. A certain current flows in the forward bias mode. Some amount of current is the forward bias mode, and some is contained in the reverse bias or in the negative region also. Negligible current flows in the reverse bias mode until Zener or avalanche breakdown happens. There is a very small amount of current that is flowing in the reverse bias region until there is a region of the Zener or the avalanche. Avalanche means it's above the breakdown region. Breakdown region means the region where the diode is at its maximum or the saturated level of current, above which it will break down, be avalanche. So that is your avalanche or the breakdown region, and the negligible amount of reverse bias current or reverse bias voltage will only be forming or only be conducting when they are conducted in the reverse bias. But that reverse bias region only is accompanied in your this avalanche or the breakdown, Zener breakdown regions. Otherwise, they are not conducting. So this is your temperature dependence of PN junction diode. Now this is very important part of this PN junction diode, and how this temperature dependence of this PN junction diode is actually very important. Now on the x-axis we can see we have the voltage, on the y-axis we have the current. Now as amount of voltage is increasing, what is happening is the amount of current is seen, that is, it is increasing. We can see it very well that it is increasing, isn't it? So that is actually seen over here. But what is actually to be seen over here is that with the increase of temperature, because as the amount of current is increasing, the amount of voltage is increasing, and when this both of these parameters are increasing, that is voltage and current are increasing, what is happening is the amount of temperature is also enhanced. There is increase in temperature also. There is abrupt increase in temperature also, and that increase in temperature is actually increasing as we move on towards the left side of the graph. That we can see it over here, that we are having the 25 degrees Celsius minus delta T. मतलब we are not having a head. यहाँ पर temperature we are heading increase in temperature, but it is not to a very large extent. Then at 25 degrees Celsius is a room normal temperature. But as we are moving towards the left side of the graph, that is, it is seen that rise in temperature is always in the left side. As we move towards the left side means we have a lower edges of voltage and higher edge of current increase. Then that will create a higher edge in the temperature also. When we are having the low levels of voltage, but the low level of voltage are producing a very high level of current to increase, that will enhance the level of temperature also. So the temperature dependence of PN junction diode suggests that for the low levels of voltage, we are having the high levels of current and the high levels of temperature. Similarly, we can see for the Zener diode also, where we have the negative temperature coefficients, we are having a very high negative voltage is having a high temperature coefficient and low value of current. We can see it over here. We are not having a very high level of current over here, but voltage is very small, and because higher negative means the voltage getting very smaller, and we are having a rise in temperature. Rise in temperature is getting towards in the high levels or the current. So that is seen on the positive and negative scales of your PN junction diode. So that is all for today's lecture. Thank you so much for patient listening. If you have any doubts, you can drop your queries in the email mentioned below. Thank you so much.